Want to sound like a natural when you speak Spanish? Imagine effortlessly flowing through conversations, impressing native speakers with your fluency and confidence. You're in the right place. We're here to help you unlock the secrets to fluent pronunciation. One crucial element often trips up language learners: stress. Stress in language can change the meaning of words entirely, making it a vital aspect to master. Don't worry, it's not as complicated as it sounds. With a bit of practice and the right guidance, you'll get the hang of it in no time. In English, we stress different syllables in words, like photo versus photographer. This stress pattern helps convey the correct meaning and pronunciation. Spanish works similarly, but with its own set of rules. Understanding these rules will make your Spanish sound more natural and authentic. Mastering stress is key to understanding and being understood. It bridges the gap between you and native speakers, making communication smoother. Imagine asking for polo, chicken, but stressing the wrong syllable, ending up with po-llo, which doesn't mean anything. This small mistake can lead to big misunderstandings. Not only will this confuse native speakers, but it could also lead to some funny misunderstandings. These moments can be embarrassing, but are also great learning opportunities. So buckle up and let's dive into the world of Spanish stress. We'll break it down step by step, making it easy and fun to learn. It's easier than you think, and once you get the hang of it, you'll be speaking Spanish with more confidence and fluency. You'll be amazed at how quickly you can improve with the right focus and practice. Let's break down the rules of Spanish stress. They're simpler than you might think. Understanding these rules will help you pronounce words correctly and sound more like a native speaker. In most cases, Spanish words like to follow a predictable pattern. This predictability makes it easier to learn and remember how to stress words properly. Rule 1. Words ending in a vowel, N, or S, usually stress the second to last syllable. This is a common pattern you'll see in many everyday words. Think of words like amigo, friend, or KSA, house. These words naturally stress the second to last syllable, making them easy to pronounce once you know the rule. Rule 2. Words ending in other consonants typically stress the last syllable. This rule applies to many nouns and verbs. For example, hotel, hotel, or coma, to eat. Notice how the stress naturally falls on the last syllable. Easy, right? But wait, there's more. Rule 3. When a word breaks the pattern, an accent mark swoops in to save the day. These accent marks are crucial for indicating the correct stress. More on this in the next section. We'll dive deeper into how accent marks work and how they can change the meaning of words. These 3 simple rules will give you a solid foundation for understanding Spanish stress. Remembering them will make your Spanish sound more natural and fluent. Keep them in mind as you encounter new words, and you'll be well on your way to sounding more natural in no time. Practice regularly, and soon these rules will become second nature. Remember those accent marks we mentioned? They're not just there for decoration. In Spanish, accent marks are like little signposts, guiding you to the correct stress. Think of them as your trusty sidekicks, shouting, "Hey, stress this syllable." They tell you exactly where to put the emphasis, even if a word doesn't follow the usual rules. For example, take the word canción, song. Without the accent, you might pronounce it as canción, but the accent mark tells us to stress the last syllable. Canción. Accent marks are essential for understanding written Spanish and pronouncing words correctly. Pay close attention to them, and they'll become your best friends in your Spanish journey. Let's look at some examples to solidify our understanding of accent marks and stress. No accent needed. Mesa, table, ends in a vowel, so we stress the second to last syllable. Mesa, doctor, doctor, ends in R, so we stress the last syllable. Doctor. Accent. Mark required teléfono, telephone, ends in a vowel, but the accent mark tells us to stress the third to last syllable. Teléfono. Sábado, Saturday, ends in a vowel, but the accent mark indicates stress on the first syllable. Sábado. See how accent marks clarify pronunciation? They ensure you're stressing the right syllable, even when a word deviates from the norm. Section 5. English versus Spanish stress, spotting the differences. English speakers beware. Our native tongue doesn't always play by Spanish rules. While English stress can be unpredictable, Spanish follows a more consistent pattern. For instance, the word computer has stress on the second syllable in English, computer, while its Spanish counterpart, computadora, follows the typical rule and stresses the second to last syllable, computadora. Another difference is that English often emphasizes words in a sentence to convey meaning, while Spanish relies more on word order. This means that mastering word stress is even more critical in Spanish for clear communication. Understanding these differences is crucial for avoiding pronunciation errors and developing a natural-sounding Spanish accent. Section 6. Mastering stress tips and tricks for easy recall. Memorizing rules is one thing, but applying them in real-time conversations can be challenging. Here are some practical tips to help you master Spanish stress. Listen actively. Pay close attention to where native speakers place stress when they speak. Break it down. When learning new words, identify the syllable that needs stress and practice pronouncing it correctly. Use visual aids. Write down new words with the stressed syllable highlighted, or use flashcards with stress markings. Record yourself. Hearing yourself speak can help you identify areas where your stress needs improvement. Practice makes perfect, so keep these tips in mind and you'll be well on your way to mastering Spanish stress in no time. Section 7. Common mistakes. Avoiding the gringo accent. Even with the best intentions, English speakers often stumble over certain aspects of Spanish stress. Let's expose some common pitfalls and learn how to avoid them. One frequent error is stressing the wrong syllable, especially in longer words. For example, beginners might say interesante instead of interesante, interesting. Another common mistake is forgetting about accent marks. Ignoring these crucial guides can lead to mispronunciations and misunderstandings. Remember, accent marks are your friends. By being aware of these common errors, you can consciously work on correcting them and refining your Spanish pronunciation. Section 8. Practice makes perfect, mastering stress through repetition. Ready to put your knowledge into action? The key to mastering Spanish stress is consistent practice. Here are some fun and effective ways to train your tongue.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Tongue twisters. Try Spanish tongue twisters like Tres tristes tigres tragaban trigo en un trigal. 3 sad tigers were eating wheat in a wheat field. To improve your pronunciation and stress. Sing along. Music is a fantastic way to internalize stress patterns. Find some catchy Spanish songs and sing your heart out. Shadowing, find a Spanish language video or audio clip and try to mimic the speaker's pronunciation and intonation as closely as possible. Remember, the more you practice, the more natural and effortless your pronunciation will become. Section 9. The power of listening. Training your ear for Spanish stress. While speaking practice is crucial, don't underestimate the power of listening. Listening is a fundamental part of language learning that often gets overlooked. Training your ear to recognize correct stress patterns is just as important as practicing your own pronunciation. This skill helps you understand native speakers better and makes your speech sound more natural. Immerse yourself in the Spanish language as much as possible. Listen to podcasts, watch movies, and engage with various forms of media, or listen to Spanish music. Music is a great way to get accustomed to the rhythm and stress of the language. Pay close attention to how native speakers stress words and phrases. Notice the rise and fall of their intonation. As you listen, try to identify the stressed syllable in each word. This will help you mimic the natural flow of the language. You can even try tapping your foot or clapping along to the rhythm of the language. This physical engagement can reinforce your learning. The more you listen, the more attuned your ear will become to the nuances of Spanish stress, making it easier to understand and replicate correct pronunciation. Consistent practice and active listening will significantly improve your ability to speak Spanish naturally and confidently. So, keep listening and practicing. Section 10. Embrace the challenge. Becoming a confident Spanish speaker. Mastering Spanish stress might seem daunting at first, but don't get discouraged. Remember that every Spanish speaker was once a beginner grappling with the same challenges. Embrace the journey and celebrate your progress. Every correctly stressed word is a victory. Be patient with yourself and don't be afraid to make mistakes. The most important thing is to keep practicing and engaging with the language. With dedication and perseverance, you'll be amazed at how quickly your pronunciation improves. So go out there and speak Spanish with confidence. Section 11. Resources and tools. Your path to Spanish mastery. Your Spanish learning adventure doesn't end here. Countless resources are available to help you further refine your pronunciation and stress. Online dictionaries. Utilize online dictionaries like Spanish Dict and Word Reference, which provide audio pronunciations of words, including stress markings. Language learning apps. Explore apps like Duolingo, Babbel, and Memories, which offer interactive exercises and pronunciation practice. Language exchange partners. Connect with native Spanish speakers online or in person for conversation practice and feedback on your pronunciation. Remember, the best tool is your own dedication. Embrace the learning process, utilize these resources, and you'll be well on your way to Spanish fluency.